Good day everyone. So the yield curve. Let's talk about it. You probably heard that term so many times right now because of the whole thing that's going on with the bond market. So I want to explain to you what it means. So what we need to know is that when the US want to raise some money, it has to take a loan. Okay, and that loan could be in three forms. The first one is bills, which means that the maturity of those bills would be less than a year. Then you have the notes, which are 2, 3, 5, and 10 years. And then you have the bonds, which mature in 30 years. And yes, when the maturity time is due, you will get your money back. And in between, you will get also interest. Now let's talk logic, okay? Let's move those things out of the way right now. I want to ask you a question. If you're gonna lend your money to someone, and you're gonna lend your money for 3 months, 2 years, 10 years, and even 30 years. So while you're giving your money, you are kind of renting your money to someone, right? And when you're renting something, you have to get a premium for it. So you will ask for an interest. Assuming that you're gonna lend your money to someone and it's Uncle Sam. And we're gonna also assume that Uncle Sam will repay you fully at the end of the period that both of you agreed upon, and he will also pay you interest in between. Meaning that there's no risk, or a really minor one, that Uncle Sam will default on his own debt. Now comes the best part. Assuming that you have to give him money for 2 years and for 10 years, a loan of $1,000, on which one of those loans you're gonna ask for a higher yield? Think about it for 1 second. Well, if your answer is that you're gonna ask a higher yield on the 10 years, it means that you got the whole point. You're giving up your money for a longer period of time, and it means that you're gonna ask for a higher yield on the money that you're giving up. So the normal state of the yields would be that the 10 years will be higher than the 2 years, and the 2 years yield will be higher than the 3 months, and the 30 years yield will be higher than all of them. So if we would draw a yield curve, it would look something like this. Yet something is really interesting going on in the stock market right now. As we're talking, the yield curve is flattening, and some parts of the yield curve is inverting, which means that the yield on the short-term loans is higher than the yield on the long-term loans. It happened with the 3 months and the 10 years, and now everyone is waiting for the 2 years and the 10 years notes to invert. And why they are waiting for that? Because every time for 40 years now that the yield inverts with the 2 and the 10 years, a recession comes. Or in other words, when the yields on the 2 years note becomes higher than the yield on the 10 years note, a recession follows. And that happened for the last 40 years. So this is it for today. You probably understood everything about the yield curve and how it works. And by the way, this is a yield curve that's inverted. I wish you a happy day and a great week. So if you like it, please share it with your friends and have a great day.